Hello and welcome to this video in which we will be talking about human abductions, and we'll also be getting quote of the week, and it was by Lord Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding, and we'll be getting my thoughts on human abductions. It's a worldwide phenomenon affecting hundreds of thousands of people from all walks of life, in all different regions. It doesn't matter about religion, how much money you've got, social status, just everybody. A lot of people do actually believe they have been, and they are genuine in what they say. Many are hoaxes, and many are due to psychological illnesses. Psychiatrists do say that it's just mental illness and psychotic episodes, and that's why they say they are. QFOS, the Centre of UFO Studies, define human abductions in four ways, and these are the four. 1. A person must be A. taken against their will, B. from terrestrial surroundings, and C. by non-human beings. 2. The beings must take the person to A. an enclosed place, B. not terrestrial in appearance, and C. assumed or known to be an alien spacecraft by the abductee. 3. In this place, the abductee must either be A. be subjected to an examination, B. engage in communication verbally or telepathically with the alien being, or C. both. And number 4 is these experiences may be remembered A. consciously, or B. through methods of focused concentration such as hypnosis. There is striking similarities between various abductees. They can up to 8, not saying they have all 8 characteristics, but there was a Thomas E. Bullard documented the 8 cases, and these are them. Capture, where the entities come in and take them. Usually the abductee is rendered paralysed and can't move or can't fight back, and is taken out either through a window or through a wall, which is why they say they could be interdimensional, or their technology is vastly advanced. Examination, women say that they've had eggs taken or fetuses, men say they've had sperm taken, and of course is the old favourite, the anal probe. Also gouges in the skin, and debris left in the skin as well. 3. Conference. The aliens tell them why they're here, what they're doing, they're not going to harm them, etc. And they just basically try to calm them down, I think. Tour. They take them on a tour of their craft or wherever they're at. Why they would do that, I don't know. Loss of time. A lot of people have lost time. They were washing up at say 7 o'clock at night, and it's 7:30, and they haven't actually done anything. They're still at the sink. The return. When they returned, like again, they might be not where they were when the last remember, or something else could have happened. They might be undressed, or they could be dressed. Number 7, theophany. The feeling of elation, of immense love, of a high. And then there's the last one, aftermath. How they deal with it psychologically. If they remember it, it can affect their lives, their marriages, their jobs. People have lost their jobs and broke up marriages because of it. So it is real, whether it's aliens or not. It's a real phenomena. There was a Dr. John E. Mack. He was a psychiatrist. He has wrote books on the subject, and he was a proponent of the alien hypothesis. And Bud Hopkins was a ufologist and historian, and he that was his forte, human abduction. Um, Human abduction, is it people copying shows like such as the X-Files, Dark Skies, V, or films such as Close Encounters of the Third Kind or Independence Day, or are they getting their stories from actual events? We'll never know. Hundreds of years ago, people reported being taken by demons, devils, or other evil creatures. Some never returned; they just walked into the forest and were never seen again. Could that have been alien abduction and never returned, or was it just they decided not to come home, or they died somewhere, they drowned and washed away in the river? We'll never know. Two cases, famous cases. I've got one from America, one from the UK. Betty and Barney Hill in 1961 in New Hampshire. Basically, they were coming back from holiday. They were driving up a quiet road, and they noticed a light moving towards them. He got out. He saw an object, and he said there was people. He could see people in the object. He tried to get back in the car, and that's all he remembered until they were driving. They were 30 miles further on than they should have been some time later. They'd lost some time. The car was a bit damaged. He had scuffed shoes, and apparently he was an immaculate man. He wouldn't have gone out. Anyway, later on, they started remembering things when they were asleep, nightmares, and Betty Hill actually did a star map of Zeta Reticuli, which later was found to be a likeness for that area of the star map, and she had said the aliens had given her the information. Another one in the UK was a PC Alan Godfrey that happened in 1980, sorry, in Todmorden, West Yorkshire. He was responding to a call near an estate about cows. Anyway, he was coming up the lane in his car, and he noticed an object in the road. At first he thought it was a bus on its side because it was a mining area, but when he got closer it was actually hovering above the ground, and he did say the ground was dry underneath and it had been raining. He got his notebook out, which all police officers carry, and they do to this day, and he took notes, and he drew a picture of them. Anyway, later he sort of woke up, and all of a sudden he was driving past the object. He went back to his station, reported it. He was laughed at as usual and ridiculed. This is why people do not tell people about them, because especially at work, because they get ridiculed. And they said, you really want to put this report in? So he put it in, and it probably would have just been another report had not three other police officers had seen an object 12 miles away at Halifax, and they said it shot off towards Todmorden at about the same time as he'd reported it. Another interesting point in this case is PC Godfrey was investigating the death of a Mr. Adamski. He'd basically been found on top of a coal heap with a vest, trousers and shoes on, and there was no coal dust. He'd had a heart attack. No one knows how he got to the top of the coal stack and not got dirty. He didn't have any on his hands or his clothes. As if he'd been dropped on there. He'd had an unknown substance on him round his head, and the coroner to this day still didn't know what the substance was, and there is further information on that, but go and look it up. It's a good story. The theories regarding human abduction is 1, the hallucinating, 2, it's sleep deprivation, 3, false memories, 4, the hoaxes or misinterpretation, or the people have got psychological problems. And that sort of wraps it up for human abduction. It's a huge area. There's various pros and cons to it, but like I say, do your own homework and you'll believe what you want to believe once you've got the evidence. Quote of the week is by an Air Marshal Lord Hugh Dowding. He was in charge of fighter command during World War II, the Battle of Britain. He rose to a high rank in the RAF, the highest rank you can get of Air Chief Marshal. And he stated, "I am convinced that these objects do exist and that they are not manufactured by any nations on Earth." So he thought they're obviously extraterrestrial. Right, my thoughts. Hundreds of thousands of people, are they all crazy? Some definitely will be, some definitely will be lying, some will be genuinely believe that they have been taken, and some may have been. Why not? Like I said in another video, we are a resource after all. Hypnosis, does it work or doesn't it work? There's a argument in psychiatry whether it works or whether it doesn't work. I suppose it depends which side of the fence you're on as to how much you believe in it. There was a case in America, it's a famous case, Travis Walton. He was abducted for a number of days. He had 4 other crew. There were woodcutters in America, and they all took a lie detector test, and only one was marginally off. Now lie detectors aren't 100%. You can fool them. That is why in courts of law they're not admissible. It's when the police say, "Will you take a lie detector test?" It's just to get a guide. If they're willing to take it, they probably haven't done it. Surely proper psychiatric investigation should be done in this phenomena if it's so large, because there's obviously similar characteristics. So I think it should be done professionally and not just mocked that they're all crazy. And again, this is when people in academic scientists look at the ufologists, they just straight away, people are either crackers or they don't know what they're doing, or they're just liars and things like that. But they never say, "Oh well, yeah, well we'll do a proper investigation then," or and closed minds. For scientists to have closed minds, they're very poor scientists. Or that's their official line maybe. And in history, the cases of the bogeymen, are they true? And it's just their take of the time was religious, where ours is now scientific, where we've come along, and maybe in 100 years time it could be spiritual again or interdimensional. We'll never know. So that's my thoughts of the day, and my question is to you. Have you ever had an experience like that, whether you can rationalize it or not, or woke up thinking you've had some encounter or otherwise? So I shall say, if you like, hit the thumb button, consider subscribing, and please do leave your comments and any questions down there. We'll get a bit of banter going. Like I say, it's only my 5th video, so I'm still getting there, learning a bit. And all it's to say is thank you for watching, God bless, and be safe, and good night.